Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and we're very, very excited to be here today. Thanks for being here, and for those of us watching, it's a pleasure to be speaking with you today. My name is Alethea Bhatia, and I'm the founder and CEO of MadLearn. We are preparing today's students for tomorrow's careers. But before I tell you about that, I want to share a little story with you. So this is me when I was about 2 years old, reaching for the skies, reaching for the stars. Fast forward about 25 years, this is me about to speak at the United Nations a couple years ago on the importance of educational technology in our world today. And the only thing that's changed in those 25 years is how tall I am and how far my reach is and the power and the weight that my voice can hold. You see, I am a millennial, minority, woman, CEO of a tech company in education. There's not a lot of people like me, unfortunately, but there need to be more, and that's why we're here doing what we do today. Our team is one that I am so proud of, and I'm so honored. This is one of the best teams I've ever had the opportunity to work with, and we represent what businesses should represent today. Diversity in all kinds of ways, in gender, in race, in age, in geographic location. We are such a lean and mean and amazing team, but we are in 5 cities and 3 different countries around the world. And that really represents the future of work. We're dispersed, but we're able to be very, very productive. And to those investors in the room and investors watching, while we're not raising money actively, we do have some records that we broke last year. We actually opened and closed a round of investment in 30 days last year, and that's unheard of for a company like ours in our industry. So we're very proud of that, and these are the people that have empowered us to do that. But what is MadLearn, really? MAD stands for Mobile App Development, and MadLearn is a program that is teaching students how to take their ideas and turn them into real products, how to not just consume technology, but really create it. We're a web-based, online, simple mobile application development tool for kids as young as kindergarten all the way up through high school that have actually built apps with our program. We focus on the entire design thinking process with our kids, from ideation and planning, design, actual development of the app, testing it, and launching it. So it's the overall process that we teach kids, and it has just been such a wonderful experience for thousands of kids across the world. One of our MAD teachers says it best when she says, students really want to make a difference in this world. And they want to be creating content and not just publishing it locally, but getting a global audience. When we look at what MadLearn is doing with their mobile app development, it's not just here's how you can make an app, here's step 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the process where most of that learning is taking place. MadLearn is what enables these kids to be as excited as they are. That picture on the top left there, that's a student who's seeing her app on her screen for the very first time. And obviously a picture speaks louder than words. It's what's enabling those little girls on the bottom left to win their school app challenge. They actually made an app called Ducky Tape, which is just showing you how to use duct tape to create all kinds of really cool things, from purses and coasters and placemats to, it was very, very cool. MadLearn is also what's connecting kids across the world to meet each other online and build apps across borders. It's some powerful stuff, and we're so proud of what our students do, especially this little girl. She's a middle schooler in Canada who built an app on bullying. It's called Bullying is Breakable, and she presented it at a conference of about 3,000 people in Canada last year. If you want to see her app and hundreds of others that have been built over the last 4 years, feel free to pull out your phone. We're a mobile company, so we'd love for you to pull out your phone, go to the App Store or Play Store, and download an app called Mad Store. It's our version of the App Store, so any app that a student makes with MadLearn, they're able to use and see and share instantly on their phone through Mad Store. We are today about 4 years old. We launched in 2014. We're in 31 states and 5 countries internationally, and we've had about 9,000 apps that have been built with our program. But why are we really here? Let's look at some numbers. Computing jobs are the #1 source of wages in the United States. There's about 500,000 open jobs today. And while our 3rd graders aren't immediately going to fill those open jobs this year, if we don't start early and we don't start young, we will never be able to fix this problem long term. And the reality is that code is just one piece of the puzzle. Any company like ours, any company like yours here, has coders, designers, innovators, testers, marketers, salespeople, and that's what we want to expose kids to early on in the process. There is no going back to this, ladies and gentlemen. Our economy will not sustain if our classrooms continue to look like this. And unfortunately, many of them still do. We only have room for this. We need classrooms of the future to enable and fuel innovation for the future. And so our ask of you today is, if you are interested in education, in funding programs like this, in looking at how you can help support local schools, if you have corporate social responsibility initiatives at your companies, talk to us, let us know. We have hundreds and thousands of schools that love MadLearn and want to bring it to their students, but don't have the funding yet to be able to do it. This is not a typical English, science, or math program that tends to be funded. So let us know. We'd love to talk and love to partner with you. This is my contact information, and please do connect with us after. Thank you.
We'll open up the floor for questions. If you have a question, please speak in the mic just for benefit of our audience that's online.
Thank you. Any questions for us, folks?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
So do you go through the school county, or what is the approach?
Very, very good question. We are absolutely through the school system, so we work and sell to schools and school districts, public, private, charter, across the board. But it's very much through the system of the school, because that's where we know we have the most potential for impact and the most long-term ability to affect change.
And what's the price structure? How does it look like?
Sure. So we have licenses that schools or districts buy based on volume. It's typically a site license for the school. We're one of the very few programs. It's a computer science program that's actually not used in a coding class or a computer science class. And I say that specifically because if we only focus on coding classes, we're only going to have 5 or 10 or 15% of our kids that can benefit from that. But imagine a world where we had history teachers, which we do, and English teachers and math teachers that are saying, hey, instead of writing a paper on the Roman Empire, let's make an app on the Roman Empire. And it's so simple and so easy for the kids to do, they can start to really build in projects like this into their core classes. So it is license-based, they're annual licenses, and it depends on volume. Yep, absolutely. Any other questions?
What does the product actually look like? So how does the interface, is it, I know MIT does it for Android apps, for example, so.
Very, very good question. So it's all cloud-based. The kids go into our website, they hit login, and there's a whole set of tools that we've developed that walks them through the process of creating their ideas, of mapping them out. There's a mind mapping tool. There's an app developer itself where we have a series of templates or features or functionalities, if you will, that the kids can build into their app and build out their screens, connect them, design them, test them in that way. And they test it through the Mad Store. So it's a very simple process. The kids can learn how to code if they want to. There's some screens where you can kind of flip your screen around and see the code and type and write that code in if you'd like, but it's not the focus. We want to bring 100% of our kids to the table and make it a little bit simpler and easier for all teachers to use. So we start simple, and then as they're more interested in code or design or entrepreneurship, apppreneurship for that matter, they can go into those things further as they progress. Yeah.
So when they create all these apps and they go into your Mad Store, is there an index or something that somebody can look at? Is there a social connecting app out there that students are using? And that's one question. Second is, how does a student promote their app so they can see the number of downloads or hits that are happening in their app?
Very, very good question. So some of those things we're still getting to, and some of those things exist. So in terms of the Mad Store itself, there's an ability for students to like and share and comment on apps, and also sort them by topic or by, you can actually even look at a particular school and see all of the apps that are from that school. So that's an initial way and a mechanism for students to do that. But we're not yet at a place where kids are able to and are just sharing their apps wildly. We have had several apps that have been published onto the App Store and Google Play Store individually, so not through Mad Store, just by themselves. One example, and you can take a look at this as well if you'd like, it's called Rainbow Loom. It was an app created a couple years ago by a 5th grader in Florida, and she has had over 150,000 downloads on her app. And so that's a really exciting story, and it's one that she's been very proud of. Yep. Any other questions? Yes.
Hi. Is your product being used just in the classroom or out of school, after school settings, camps, that sort of thing?
All of the above. It originates at the school in terms of the institution, but it could be, you know, in class during the school day, after school, before school. There's a lot of student app camps and app-a-thons and app challenges that we do. We do these things called Mad Shark Tanks, where we have kids come up and they pitch their app ideas, and they, you know, they have sharks that are giving them feedback and judging and sometimes even investing in them. So, but yes, it can be a lot of different frameworks. And even nonprofit organizations. We have a lot of Black Girls Code clubs that use our program. We have a lot of different organizations that are starting to build in this kind of activity for their students. Thank you, everybody.